stuff out. So if you clicked on this video after I've uploaded it, or you tune into this video as I talk about it, this is about the price of waking up. So as we get started, what is waking up, right? So to get a little bit of detail about it, we're born into this world. We don't really know what's going on. I mean, we're babies, right? Every now and then we get a conscious download. We become more and more aware of our surroundings. We start asking questions. And what is taught to us is everything that our parents know about this world. And then, obviously, if you went to school or even homeschooled at that point, you get taught by the world as far as what's going on in this world. Now, it's not saying that none of the knowledge is valuable, but a lot of it is kind of restricted. As in, it's not the full story of what's really going on in this world. There are just a few people that probably know exactly what's truly going on in this world, but there's not many other people that do. Most of us do not. So, depending on where your journey takes you in life, some of us actually start to stumble across some of the actual truths of the world. And at first, it's going to be hard to believe. Like, hold on, wait, this don't make sense. This is not what I taught. This is not what science says. Um, it can't be right until you start seeing a pattern. If there's one thing that's undeniable, science says it. Everything else is that, like, when something creates a pattern over and over and over again, you can't really deny it. You know, the only thing that really has the capability of changing their patterns to be something different are human beings. We do have the capability. We can do the same action over and over and over again, and somebody can be like, "Hey, that's a pattern," but we have the capability of deferring from what that pattern is, depending on what we want to achieve or do in our lives and what our mindset is. And there's not too many things on this planet that can actually deviate from their own patterns. So, without getting too far off track, eventually, once you start finding out more and more about what's actually going on in this world, you begin to wake up. So, in a sense, you begin to pull, in the reference to the Matrix, you begin to pull that cord out your neck. You discharge yourself from the pod, and then now you're seeing the world for what it actually is. You start to realize that the story about the world and the happenings of it are just they're it's fabrication. It's almost like a video game. You hop on a video game, you play a video game. That character only knows that world. Now, what if that character became aware that it was in its own video game and then it came out here to our world? Hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. Just getting started. So, like I said, if you're coming in, this is the price of waking up. I'm just describing what happens when you actually go through a process and start being able to see the world for what it is and see everything else for what it is and what kind of happens. And yeah, let's get into it. Alt. Oh, I don't know what that means though, but so like I said, as you go through, you begin to wake up. So when you start having conversations with everybody else, oh, this is what happens when you wake. you retard. You hear me as I speak, but as I keep talking. So even just mundane conversations, like there was a conversation I've overheard today. Yo, T-Pain. I always get like T-Pain, or I get like some Jamaican dude, or I've gotten T-Pain probably about 10 times in the past month. I wish I was that rich. So, but like I said, in base conversations, like the one I heard this morning, I heard some people talking about what do you call it, like the nice guy, making fun of, like, the title of a nice guy, which we all know a nice guy is somebody that thinks because they do all these wonderful things for the woman that she's supposed to be with him. And we, as we get older, we know that's not the case. But it was how they were making fun of him. Like a lot of people make fun of like nice guys like that, but not realizing that the case behind a nice guy is somebody that wasn't taught self-worth or somebody else's self-worth, and they're struggling. Oh, thank you very much. Wallpaper 21, thank you very much for subbing. So it's a deeper thing to it. So what a nice guy is lacking knowledge, but the want to love somebody and the want to feel to be loved. But when you don't have tools to actually go about that, you end up as a person that's pretty much just shoving their ideas and what they want onto somebody else, which is something that we shouldn't do. Oh, hello, good. It's not something that we should do. But what most people will do nowadays is they'll make fun of that person and not see, what needs to happen behind the fact. That's one of the things that happens when you wake up, is you begin to see in just normal mundane issues the real issue of what's going on. And not to get, I don't like to get too political. I know, like right now, if you live in America, we're dealing with this whole ICE situation. And this is one of the situations I'm talking about, where they're only going to give you two sides to do everything. Daggone, I dropped 6 viewers once I started talking about it. But hey, still, so freaking you have Republican and Democrat. That's two. You know, there's more. One side says ICE is good. One side says ICE is bad. But if you actually look at it, though, it's always that 10% that's messing up everything for everybody, and it's always people in charge that's in the suit and ties up in the office that barely work in our country, making these daggone decisions that are driving everything. So like I said, without getting too deep into it, most normal people will only see ICE and the problems that it's causing. They're not following the trail of where it's coming from. When you start to wake up, no matter what situation you go to or you're in, you'll begin to see the trail going on. So when somebody's stressing about something, you can see what's causing it. You can see how to fix it. But by this happening, it tends to ostracize you. It tends to put you in a different category that you weren't in the first place. And then when you try to speak about it to other people, they're like, "Dude, what are you talking about? Are you serious?" Nah, and then they're not about what you're talking about. Only certain few people will be. That's the price of waking up, because you want to help people wake up, but you can't. You can't force them to. Like I think ever since my own personal journey, uh, it really kind of capsized around 2015 when I started really noticing everything behind everything else. And I started telling everybody around me, "Well, hey, look at this, look at that, look at this, look at that." And I had this one girl say this one line to me, and she was like, she was like, what you call it? I don't want to hear it. I want to stay in my happy bubble and be oblivious. And I was like, well, how could you do that? Why would you want to do that? Wouldn't you want to actually wake up and like separate yourself? And that's when I realized not everybody wants to wake up, and you can't wake up everybody. You just gotta talk to those that are going to listen. But let's dive a little bit into numerology and how I know not numerology. In this point, it'd be astrology, but how I know not too many people really have a choice. Everybody's waking up, and everybody's going to be forced to wake up. Now, granted, those that still fight to stay dormant, like you hear that famous phrase, the road to salvation is narrow, but the road to damnation is vast. So when it comes to the Western zodiac, right? You have to go backwards. So we left the age of Pisces, and we probably left the age of Pisces probably around the 60s or 70s, and I think definitely probably around the 69 probably. But the age of Pisces is important because Pisces is the most religious symbol out of the whole Western zodiac. It also is the opposite of Virgo. Virgo is known as aversion. So an opposite of aversion, you can guess what that is. Pisces are known for it. Now, it's not saying all Pisces run that type of life. There's way more in detail to it, but this plays into it. So with Pisces being the most religious symbol, I mean, like the fact that people even represent Jesus by a fish on their card, the fact that the Pope's hat looks like a fish. We came into that age. That age is now done. That's why a lot of people, when they first come out, they're not really getting into religion like that. They're going to try to promote it to you like, hey, this religion is growing and this religion is growing. That's not really happening. A lot more people are questioning things. A lot more people aren't just taking what they're being fed off the bat. A lot more people are doing mental health research. They're doing so much different things that in the time of religion, you weren't allowed to do it. Two, it wasn't promoted. Three, half the time you got burned at the stake for trying something like that. So, but now we're allowed to do it. So you got to think, why is that the cause? Well, because we just moved into the age of Aquarius. For those of y'all that knows about astrology, that's the age we're in now. And the sign of Aquarius is a knowledge seeker. So through that knowledge being found, things will get exposed. The truth is coming up. You can't, universal law, you can't hide the truth. It has to be there for people to find it. People just got to have the want to find it, and Aquarius is going to push that. Another sign that you know that we're in the age of Aquarius is that Aquariuses are also known for being the ones, and I hate using the word because we're all one race, we're all human beings, but for this example, Aquariuses are known for dating or getting with people outside of their own race. Right around the 60s, and right before the 60s, you see everybody, I mean, you heard it. If somebody falls in love with somebody else and they're not the same kind, something bad always happens. But right around the 60s, a lot more acceptance started happening. You start seeing more interracial couples. And then nowadays, shoot, You, especially living in America, there's probably not really too many days you can go around without seeing an interracial couple. That shows you that people born in the age of Aquarius are influenced by that energy. Taking over to the numerology side. Um, add a Q&A sticker. Oh yeah, let's try that. I never tried this. Let's see the best movies. No, what the fuck? Nah, how you get out of this? I don't know what this is. Back. There we go. I don't know. That was weird. So, oh, by the way, while I'm here, if y'all want, drop your birthdays in the comments. And if you want just a little snapshot information about the day you were born, your life path number, or even about the year, and some advice, because just as a pause point, starting on February 17th, we're moving into year of the horse, and it's the fire horse year. The enemy is the rat. So those born in the horse years are going to have a good year. Those born in the rat year, you better buckle up. So if y'all want more information about what potential year you may want be going through soon, or maybe just some advice to help you out in life, go ahead and drop your birthday into the comments, and when I see it, I'll answer it. Also, I have my own school. It's called Dragon Sight Knowledge, like the site. There I have my base classes. I'm almost to my advanced classes, but it's totally free for y'all to join. So everything you hear me talking about on here, I get into more detail over there. And when this gets posted, I will post a link in the description. It's going to be underneath all my videos. But going back, so we just left a time where, for the past 1,000 years, the number that began with the year was one. One is new beginnings. One is male energy. Okay, let me see. We got January 31st, 1986. I'll be 40 soon too. I was at 88. All right, so by you being born in 1986, that's the year of the tiger. Tiger is part of what I call the air-headed triangle, in a sense, with their emotions. You're about 40, so you probably already know this by now, and you probably got a handle on it, but I'll just be careful with reacting to your emotions. Most tigers tend to react to their emotions first, and they need time to calm down to process it. But the only problem is that a lot of people don't like to give them that time. So definitely, like, try not to react to your emotions first, especially because you were born on the 31st. 3 plus 1 equals 4. That means that you're born on the 4th day, so you have the traits of law and order, organization, hard work, and discipline. Which means that as long as you put your mind to a task, you're good. You'll achieve it. But you also will learn a strategy to do so. So if somebody comes in and doesn't have your same type of strategy, that will irritate the crap out of you. If not, make you mad enough to push them out the way and get it done in the way that you would want to. So one thing as a 4 is you gotta understand there's multiple ways of doing things. Slow yourself down there. Don't let yourself get too attached there. But if you by yourself, dude, you got it. You're fine. And then as far as being everything all together, so you got January is 1. Let's see, you got 1, 4, 5, 6, 15, 23, 29. Oh, and you're 11. So you're an 11 life path. That's a master number. That's a number of charisma, number of the athlete, the number of emotions, and very high intuition, very spiritual. Probably the highest intuition out of all the numbers. Very spiritual, not as much as the 7 would be. Being an 11, really watch out for narcissistic type people. The type of narcissist type people that you would have probably ran into in your life would have tried to use you for your own work ethic, and then use your own emotions against you to continue to have you work for them. By being 11, your main goal with that is to balance out your emotions, be in control of them. If you master your emotions, you master life, and you're good to go. But that's a snapshot in yours. And let me see here. And then, by the way, if you agree with what I'm saying, go ahead and give a thumbs up, like the video, and things of that nature. Let me see here. So let me see. We got March 7, 1998. First off, I got to say, fellow 7 brother. So I was born on the 25th. What you call it? So you being born on the 7. 7 is the number of the genius. Now, by genius, it doesn't mean everybody's Albert Einstein. It means your way of thinking is going to be vastly different than everybody else. Everybody says, oh, no, I think different. No, 7s are just built different when it comes to the mindscape. So your thirst for knowledge is way more than any other number out there. That's one of the things you should always be learning, always furthering your education. Don't stop. It's also the number of the loner, which means your friend group more than likely is going to be small. Oh, good to go. Well, thank you very much. I'm glad. Yeah, it's Shalimar. I think I said that right too. Shalimar 4236. Thank you. Your friend group is not going to be that big, but you're going to need to know. Take your time. You need your time by yourself to recharge. 7 is a natural introverted number. And oh, thank you. It's a natural introverted number, so you're gonna need time for yourself, but you're gonna have to get out there to further your knowledge. So keep that balance going. Also, with the seven, be careful of your health. Keep your health in check. Seven isn't, I don't like to say bad luck because there's no such thing as bad luck, but the number of health events. So, people with the number of seven, you participate in sports, you participate in things of that nature, you're more likely to get injured than most people because the universe has to balance itself. It's not going to make your brain think the way that it does and not give you something to bounce out in return. Because if you was able to be yoked and super good on health and be intelligent, at the same time, you blow Tony Stark out the water. So it has to balance itself at some point. Seven is also the most spiritual number. And I think what it is where seven would start off with science or 1 + 1 = 1. Eventually, you will cross the border into spirituality, and then you see how it actually works itself backwards and forwards. Now, which makes seven the most spiritual number. You was also born in 1998, which is, if I'm not mistaken, that's also a tiger year. So your tiger, I don't have the elements memorized, but your tiger is different than the one from earlier. Same thing. Your emotions are gonna be mostly in your head. Don't react to your emotions hardcore. Make yourself take time with that. Because a lot of people won't allow you to take time with your own emotions. But tigers are known for that. Also, one thing I gotta really say about tigers, and I said something earlier, when y'all get into a relationship, if you can find another tiger or another cat or a rat, because the cat and the rat are going to be the two that's going to be able to help you out with your mental gymnastics. And also, Shalimar would be an 11. If you could find somebody born on the 7th or have a 7 life path, that would be perfect for you. 7 and 11 are fated numbers. I can get into that later. Just hit it. Valentine's Day is coming up soon too. So yeah, just be careful of those emotions up there. Um, and then if I was to add it all together, you have 3, 10, 11, 20, 29. You have 37. So that means you're a one life path. And like I said, one is male energy, it's leadership, it's new beginnings. Ones can be argumentative, sometimes not like for argumentative sake. They're not afraid of an argument. But with the combo with your seven, you probably get into a lot of arguments and disagreements with a lot of people that aren't trying to think on your same wavelength. Whether you're just talking about something as an idea or whether you actually have to address something, a lot of people tend to argue with you quite often. And you will argue with them back. You're not afraid of that. So as far as having a one as a life path, be careful of the alcohol. One's are one of the numbers that really have problems with alcohol. If you don't, that's really good. Keep it that way. But it's a slippery slope with a one. Don't be afraid to start new things. And the fact that you got the seven to back you up, because ones will start something new and most likely won't finish it. But with the seven, your curiosity will keep you going. It will always keep you going. But yeah, that's also you are a Pisces. So one thing I always give this warning about Pisces, because me being a Virgo, Pisces is actually my opposite sign. So you being a Pisces, I'm your opposite sign. And we gotta take hints from each other. That's one thing you can do with Western Zodiac. You can take hints from each other. So with yours is you might like to find people that are kind of broken and beaten down and kind of like help them out. Be careful. It is always very good to do that. But if they start doing things in their own way, you have to let them. What a lot of Pisces people like to do is they'll help people out and they'll see where they can be. And if the person doesn't move in that direction, they will get mad at them and start making them feel worthless, like kind of like they shouldn't be doing that. And most Pisces people aren't aware that they do that. So you've been watching there ain't no pressure. I've been watching the expressions. Oh yeah. So you talking about like their expressions? I've been watching the. You might have to clarify that with me on that one. But yeah, no, just be careful with them because you can help out many great people. Pisces are meant to do that. They're really meant to help people. But it's just people are people. So yeah, no. And if anybody else got any birth dates, oh, my facial expressions. Oh, don't worry. These glasses is only because the sun was out. So if you worry about me hiding my eyes because I'm trying to look a certain way, that's not it. I literally have. Because the sun's down now. There we go. And then yeah. So that way you can see my eyes, you can see my face, you see everything I'm talking about is true. Or at least true and as far as to what I know. But yeah, but if anybody else have a birthday they want to shoot down there, wants some information about it, go ahead. I'll keep talking about the other subject. But So the years we were born in, it started off with one. For the past 1,000 years is one. So that's male energy, new beginnings. So as you know, all the technology advances that we had, it was ruled by religion, and the world itself is male dominated. Ooh, that's a good one. Ooh, you know what? All right, we're gonna flip over. If I keep getting these birthdays, I'm gonna try to keep track of them. I'd much rather do this than talk about the other one. If you, hey, no, right quick, I'm gonna do another pause. If y'all like what I'm talking about and you want to learn more, and if you actually want to talk to me personally, because right now I can talk with your comments. I do have a school. If y'all heard about that, it's spelled SKOOL. The school's name is Dragon Sight Knowledge. It's 100% free. I'm almost done with my basic courses because I literally just started a couple weeks ago, and I gotta literally be on my phone and fill this almost every day. Oh, daggone. Okay, I seen that comment. I want to talk to that comment in a second. Um, so if you go there, it's totally free. You join, and then I plan on doing my next kind of group meeting within the next week or two, but definitely on the 17th of February because that's when the next Chinese New Year starts. But like I said, I'll put it into the description. If not, it's the same thing as my YouTube channel, Dragon Sight Knowledge. You should go to school. You put that in the search bar. You'll find me. We have 11 members right now, looking to get more. So, but that's just a quick one. But here we go. So we have, let's see, Annabella. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Annabella. So we got February 26, 1985. Yours is very, very important. Now, real quick, let me make sure that I don't. Oh, yeah. So you're born in the ox year. So with you being born in the ox year, you could be very stubborn, very, I want to do things my way. And to be honest, there are people out there that can kind of earn your respect as far as to where you don't have to be that person, but it does take very strong individuals for that. And by your picture, I can see that you're being a lady. If I'm saying that correctly, a lot of men may be turned off by that. So there are men that can handle it, but a lot of men may be moving away from you because of your ox energy. So all I'll say is just know what times to be stubborn. When it comes to life and you're getting your goals, be stubborn all you want. But be careful with people sometimes. There are people that just can't take your stubbornness. And it is your choice if you want to be around them. But I would definitely say learn how to balance that out because you're born on the 26. 2 plus 6 equals 8. 8 is a number of money, power, and karma. It's a number of balance. So which means that when it comes to finances, you'll be going through a lot of ups and downs in life if you haven't already. Which means that but once you kind of figure it out, you figure it out. It just means that when it comes to material possessions, when it comes to anything financial wise, get enough for yourself to be happy, but make sure that you're also saving. Make sure you're like giving to a good cause. And you don't have to donate to charity, nothing like that. Like helping people out from time to time, but don't be frugal with that. Um, so that's pretty much it when it comes to money. And outside of that, don't let nobody steamroll you, but don't steamroll somebody else because karma will hit you faster than it will hit most. Your frequency, when it gets broadcasted out to the universe, it's almost like, so when it comes to radio frequencies bounce faster across water than anything else. That's how your frequency works. And that's why the universe responds to people with that 8 energy so fast. Like to the point to where in my birthday, I'm born August 25th, 1988. I have 3 in my birthday, but my life path is 5. My day number is 7. So I don't have 8, but I'm affected the same exact way because karma be smacking the crap out of me, which is why I got to where I'm now, but it was needed. So then, and you're born on February 26th, if I'm not mistaken, shoot, that's right at the tail end of Capricorn. I don't have that one memorized. Sorry about that. I need to have it memorized. That sucks. I'll get back to you on that one later. But your birthday added all together, you got 2, 4, 10, 11, 28, 33. Oh, yeah. Is that 33? 2, 4, 10, 11, 20, 28. Yeah, that's 33. So then if I do 28, 29, 38, 46, 54. Okay, so what you have is called a 33-6, which means that you're not a pure 33. And I hate saying it like that. So by taking your birthday, adding it all the way across, I get the number 33. But if I keep the numbers in the middle whole, the 26, then I get 51, which equals a 6, which means you bounce between the 33 energy and the 6 energy. 33 is the master teacher. It's the highest master number you can achieve. So it's a master teacher, has the biggest ego. They are the trailblazers. They are the influencers. So which means that one of the energies you're going to bounce between is somebody that more than likely knows what she is doing. Nobody can tell her about anything. And I'm not saying that you can't learn. I'm just saying that more than likely, if you have an issue, you already have a plan to solve it. More than likely, if you have a goal, you already have a plan to achieve it. And this mixed with the ox mentality, that's more true in you than it is in most people. And the fact that it's an eight, like you will barrel your way through life and you will be more than likely very successful with this combination. But here's a caveat: you also bounce between the six energy. The six energy is home and family. So which means you might like to just stay home, or you like to be in homely places. People around you also feel like they're at home. One thing since you got to watch out for, just like the four, but the six sometimes will hold on to things too long, and then they explode on people. So you got to really watch out for that temper when it comes to those things. Express yourself early. Let people know where you stand. Be honest with yourself from the gate, and you'll find a lot more people, a lot more better people in your life. And which I know that at this point, all of us 80s babies about to start hitting the 40 club. Um, so if it can still bring in good stuff to your life. So and be an influencer. If there's something that you're doing right now, like right now, I'm doing a YouTube channel, and I'm doing a live right now, and I'm having fun with it. You should be doing something like this, or maybe you should be out starting your own any type of entrepreneurship or anything that has you leading with an idea or brand that is yours. You will excel at. You will always excel at that. But yeah, that's a good birthday. Also, too, be careful with family. The number 26. This one is when I'm a new one. I'm just figuring out. It's actually a karmic number when it comes to family. And this is not. I'm not trying to dark foreshadow, and I'm not saying you're gonna go through bad stuff. But I'm saying a lot of the issues in your life may end up coming directly from family. So be wise when you choose who your family is. I had my Marine Corps brother, because I was in the Marines. He was in the Marines. We didn't meet each other. We like 3 months apart. But he was born on the 26th. Unfortunately, he ended up losing his life due to an accident. But I know for a fact it was because of the family he chose. When you end up choosing somebody to love, I almost treat my wife's life better than mine. But she does the same thing to me in return, and we both treat our son lives better than ours. But when you're with somebody and they really don't have that awareness to have that type of love for you, bad things tend to happen, and that's what happened in him because he just could. It was certain things, but that's a whole conversation for another time. But yeah, that's yours. And then real quick, because I'm sorry I'm catching up on everything. Everybody keep calling me T-Pain. Get a log in the cabin somewhere in Aspen. I just wish I had better teeth like T-Pain. All right, he said you've been studying psychology and physiology and psychology for about 9 years now. Ooh, that is really good. And to be honest, I'm not gonna lie to you. If you've been studying for 9 years, let's take that number into 100% account. There's more. I wouldn't be surprised if you're probably hitting a lot of plateaus with what you're learning right now because you're in your ninth year, and 9 is the number of conclusion, completion, ego, adaptability. So that what you're studying might be asking you a little bit more to actually advance into something different, or take what you already know and just expand more upon it. You already got that 7, like we talked about earlier, so you're naturally going to walk into it. A lot of people that meet 9 years tend to lose, or whatever they're doing tends to end. But you can make it through that. Just I wish more people were aware of that. One of my brothers, not a brother, is a friend. He got divorced in his 9th year of marriage. But it was also a dragon year. He was born a year of the dog, and they're enemy signs. So he was in a negative year, and it was his 9th year, and his marriage ended. So that's just something to always watch out for. Ooh, here we go. Oh, and oh yeah, Pisces too. Okay, gotcha. And thank you. 100% correct. And you're okay. So before I get to March 25th, 1987, I do gotta say, like I said with Pisces. So a lot of people are gonna think you're controlling. They really are gonna think that you're controlling of their actions. You are in a position that most other Pisces aren't. When you truly speak on a growth of somebody or how to help somebody out, you are correct. With that 33 energy and that horse energy, you are correct. But to see, like I said, the only problem is people will be people. I learned this by listening to a podcast. And the story goes, there's this guy who was showing a business presentation. And it was the best presentation that the guy ever seen, 100% done correctly. But the main guy he was presented to didn't take his idea. And he's like, what was the best presentation? So the guy left that did the presentation, asked his boss what happened. And the boss said, well, did you have any errors? He's like, no, I didn't want to have any errors that's going to look bad on me. He's like, no. See, when you leave errors and I'm trying errors like mistakes, and when you're talking to somebody, that leaves a gap for somebody to feel like they could be a part of the fixing process. So when you talk to people and if you ever try to help them out or lead them, try to lead, kind of almost like lead them with breadcrumbs to where you want them to go, and trying to make it almost like it's their idea. If you come up with that way, not only are they going to be more reliable when they not reliable, not only will they rely on you more when you talk to them, because every time they talk to you, it feels like they're upgrading, but they also feel like they're the ones truly doing it. Because at the end of the day, they have to make the decision to do it. You can't make them do it, but you can lead them there. But you have to let them feel like this their idea. And then it just, yeah, and that's really it. So, and that's because like I just got done, and like I said, I don't hate on Pisces, but there was a certain individual in my life recently that was a Pisces, and I had to. It was bad karma though, but she has a lot more other stuff going for her that just like I don't know. She's on her own journey, but we can't be near each other anymore, unfortunately. So now going back to if Monique Shantae is still here, hopefully you're still here. With your birthday is March 25th, 1987. Another 25th. Hey. Oh, I'm so glad that I could help. So glad that I could help. That's why I'm on here. It's like I want to do it more and more, but you know, when you don't even when you got a son that's only 15 months old, you got to work. You know, it's not much time. Oh, you're here, good to go, but you got to keep working. So first thing I want to point out, fellow 25 baby here too. I was born on the 25th. You're born on 25th, and I'm giving out a lot of information. Some of this information will be in my advanced classes. Eventually, those ones will be where you have to pay for it, because I do got to make some money off of it, so that way I can start. I want to make a living off of this, you know. And but here's one of the secret things, not secret things, but people born on the 7th, the 16th, and 25th will be different. So all of them equal 7. 7 is obviously 7, 16 equals 7, 25 equals 7. Oh, I'm gonna put the link in this. Can I put the link in school right now? Or wait a minute, let me see here. No, I don't want to monitor the community. How do I do that? Once I'm sorry, like a lot of this stuff is still new. I wish I could. So I'm gonna post this video up. If you subscribe to this channel, you'll see it posted up. It will be in the link in the description. If not, like I said, if you just spell out SKOOL and go to that website, you'll see school. When you sign up, make an account, you can go to Discovery, and all you have to do is type in Dragon Sight Knowledge. And once you pop that up, you'll see the same type of design I have on my YouTube page, and I'm in there. My face is there. Yeah, and your oldest son's born. Oh, that's a really good combo. Gosh, oh, thank you very much. And I'm going to I got questions in there. Feel free to answer them. Ask your own questions and watch some of the videos. Like I said, I'm still working on it. You got to give me a little bit of time. But getting back into this, so just to give you a rundown, 7s are kind of more like, without sounding bad about it, your Poindexter intelligence. They're definitely more about the books and what they're studying and what's really going on scientifically behind things. So they would be more of a pure genius. Also, those type of 7s have a little bit harder time understanding the emotional spectrum. It takes them a little bit to understand it. Doesn't mean that they can't. They got full capability of doing so. It's just harder for them. A 16-7, you have one which is the male energy, like I said earlier, new beginnings. It's what you call it? It's a lot more other things. I need to slow my brain down. And then you have home and family. So your son, and my dad's born on the 16th, where his intelligence is going to come from is coming from helping family. He's going to be very intelligent anyway, but when he puts his mind into helping family or doing something for somebody he cares about, it opens up pathways that he normally wouldn't be thinking about. My dad, but he's a handyman. He could build a whole house by himself if he wants to do it for his family. But he has the same base intelligence. He was a powerlifter bodybuilder, you know. And then you have the 25th that we're born on. See, 25s are vastly different than the 7 and 16 because 2 is feminine energy. It's the nurturer. It's also another number of intuition. And then you have the 5. 5 is the number of travels, number of rebellion, It's a number of change. It's the number of the entertainer, the entrepreneur. It's also the most sexual number of everything. So you have those two energies making up the seven, which is why most of where our intelligence comes from is what we're passionate about, what we dream about, what we don't, as a having that five energy, we don't like change on us metaphorically or anybody else. So a lot of our intelligence will end up coming from trying to break free from something, trying to just get into a peaceful part in our life, trying to do something good for the world. It exists definitely more in the dreamscape than it does anywhere else. That's why people born on the 25th will definitely be way more spiritual than the other two sevens, more than likely will. And then you're born in 1987, which 1987 is the year of the cat. So cat, I know a lot of people that's watching this might be confused. So in the Chinese zodiac, you'll hear it as a rabbit. And here's a funny thing. So they say, hey, the follow the white rabbit. You know, if you want to understand what the truth is. So that right there tells you they changed it from the cat to the rabbit because they're trying to confuse their own people. At the same time, little side note: if you take the human brain and you slice it little by little, when you come around to the pineal gland where the pineal gland is located, that slice of brain looks like a white rabbit. And the third eye is where you go to before you reach the crown chakra, which is where Christ consciousness resides. And just a little hint of that. Um, so my bad, my brain. So you are a cat. Cat people do like to play mind games, and what I mean by that is there's a difference between the rat who likes to do it for fun and the cat that does it either when somebody messes with them or when they're trying to get something done. And then when I mean by mind games, does not mean that you're trying to manipulate people. What it means is that when it comes to matters of the mind, you play chess when most people play checkers. That's what that means. At the same time, you're not really about being around everybody. You're very picky choosy about your people. You know, some of your best friends more than likely are 4 years older or younger than you because they're born in either the goat year or the pig year. That's your friend signs. Um, and you're 25th, so you're really intelligent. You're like the cat in the corner that just looks down at people and judges them. But you're not a bad person whatsoever. I don't get like there's a lot of Pisces showing up. Oh no, you actually, if I can get the dates memorized, you actually might be Aries if I'm not mistaken. It's hard to memorize the dates in total. I'll be studying so much things. Um, but your birthday altogether, you got 3, 5, 10, 11, 20, 8. Are you also a 30? No, I might be doing it. I think it's 35. So let me do math again. 3, 5, 10, 11, 20, 28, 35. Okay, so you're an 8 life path. So like I was saying earlier, balance is the key. Money, power, and karma represents the 8. You're gonna have highs and lows when it comes to money. So really balance that out. Make sure you have enough to feel good about your life. Don't be too frugal with your money. Save it. Do something good with it. Learn how it flows. And once you do that, money in your life is more than likely going to be steady. Because if you look at the shape of the 8, it's small in the middle but big up top, right? That's big ups and big downs. That's what that represents. At the same time, be careful how you treat people and those around you. You know, karma is going to hit you a lot faster than it does most. You know, and you got an 8, you got a 7. And see, and this is why I would love y'all to come and join my school, because there's more to this. Like your name, adding your name into the mix of all this is gonna make it more dynamic. And then eventually I'm gonna start talking about the natal chart. That's a whole nother thing. And here's a little small snapshot too. So let me see here. You're just 1 year older than me at this point. Your birthday's coming up, so that means we're the same age right now. I'm not gonna give you. I'll let everybody else do math to figure out your age. So there's gonna be a challenge for you. You already passed one challenge. So the first challenge, like, would have been challenged in your life from about age 0 to about 35. You would have been hard work, organization, dedication would have been hard for you. If you were kind of like, I'm not gonna say in the streets, but not really doing things like good, the law would have came after you a lot faster than it would have did most people. So you may have struggled with that just a little bit, but it depends on the rest of the energy you have in your chart that would have told us how much you would struggle with that. So now after 35, you're now, let me see here, that is going to be 10, 18, 7. Okay, so Yep, that's really good. So now you're at a point in time in your life where you're not really having trouble with too much. But but that's kind of like a double-edged sword. You won't be having trouble with too much, but this is also a time where you need to fine tune yourself. If you don't, when you hit the age of when you hit the age of 45, there's going to be another challenge that comes up, and if you haven't prepared yourself accurately or adequately, it's going to smack the crap out of you. You know, not really to like say it in that way, but that's not what happens because you're going through a time where you're influenced by the number zero, and zero is an amplifier. So it's going to amplify anything going on with your life. But since it's a challenge, it's paying attention to the negativity in your life. So that's where that eight comes into play. And then also at the, let me see, eight. So up until about 26, then 35. So you're in the third one. Okay, I'm gonna have to get that later. But if you sign up for the school, bloop, oh, you are Aries. Oh, you are at a low right now. Oh, well, you know, if you, I'm not trying to just pass for the school, but if you sign up for my school, then we can talk a little bit more directly. My school is actually completely dedicated to helping out individuals. Like, yo, if you're at a low, come over to my school and I can talk to you on more one-on-one aspect because I want people that are having trouble with life that don't understand, understand why things are happening the way they are. Here's a small example, and I'm definitely going to get to the second comment by Annabelle. Annabella. Yeah, is I was diagnosed with bipolar back in 2019, right? So check this out. This is a small thing. Five is an extroverted number. Seven's an introverted number. Five likes to be life of the party. Seven is like leave me alone. I'm a life path 5, day 7. That's two big indicators that they like to go to in order to diagnose you with a mental disorder. Also, at the same time, when I checked out my natal chart, there's these things called squares, which is energies that reside in you, and you have to choose one of them. You cannot have both. I looked at every single last one of my squares, and they were the polar opposite of each other. So, but how did I get diagnosed with bipolar? But once I learned my energies and I seen the traits and how to work with them, they're all of a sudden they're like, oh, we don't think you're bipolar anymore. Oh, well, I guess I wonder why, because I have a natural blueprint I was born with, and I started figuring out, started fixing stuff myself. Instead of y'all constantly shoving pills down my throat that are going to eventually give me a stroke. I already had one of those. I'm good. So that's why I want to share it with everybody else, And also through my chart, I'm supposed to be doing this. So I'm actually following my energy path. So it says, with you being a Pisces, would you be in a Pisces, would I be more compatible with a Pisces born in 76 or Taurus? So, like Pisces and Pisces can get along. The one thing about them, this is going to sound real bad. And please, when I use this, I use it in a very light term. But male Pisces are more like the simps of the zodiac. Now, granted, if you go back to the original meaning of the word simp, it's actually not a bad thing. In today's age, it's actually is used more derogatory. But by all means, a husband should always be simping after his wife. It's just the fact that a lot of these men go and they go into like, all these different sites and stuff like that, and they're trying to go after all these women. That's why it became bad. So when you simp after somebody, it's no different than a man trying to like courtship you because the goal is to get married. That's what true simping is. Oh yeah. Oh, we're gonna get to this. I know I'm supposed to only do it for 30 months. My wife's gonna understand. I need to keep doing this. So Pisces and Pisces will get along well together. Let me see here. But then, see the one thing with the other individual being born on the 29th, that's also the 11th. So with the way you're built, if they're not really on point with processing their emotions well, because the one thing about 11, so whether you're born on the 11th, the 20th is a hidden 11, and the 29th or your life path equals an 11 or an 11 too. When they feel emotions, they're going to feel emotions 100 times stronger than anybody else. My wife is an 11 life path, so a lot of people will call them over dramatic or being too much. It's not that. When they're angry, their anger will always be more than what ours is. With you being a 33, you're actually going to understand that and have a path for them to actually figure out stuff. But trust me, it is hard. It is hard to get them to actually move. But if you're willing to go through that, That part is good. 76 mean they're born a year of the dragon, so you actually get a lot of honor with that. I'm also born a year of the dragon in 88. They're a fire dragon if I'm not mistaken, so they'll definitely be like, they're really adventurous, really action going. They need to do something. You do get honor with that. It doesn't mean all dragons are honorable, but for the most part, they're loyal to a cause. That depending on where that cause is, you will never see them change from that. So you want to pinpoint what that is. But that's two good things if I was to add the birthday all the way together, because that's 2, 4, 13, 20, and then 28. Actually, that's and then he's an 8 life path. That's actually a really good combo. Just on birthdays wise, those your birthday and that other person's birthday with that combo is actually extremely daggone really good. Now it will come with the name and the natal charts that will really complete it. Because once you know where the Venus is, that helps out a lot. Which I'm almost to the point where I'm getting to those videos in my school. And then you have Taurus. The only bad thing between a Taurus and an Ox, y'all are gonna butt heads all the time. But oftentimes, depending on how things roll out, that button heads can be a product of producing really great effects down the road. But it just depends, because also they're born on the 7th, which is going to be kind of hard to contend with your 33. But the 7 is willing to learn from the 33 as long as they allow it to happen. But then y'all both tigers. So actually, now that I'm looking at this more and more, and you got 5, 12, 18, 25, double 7. The whoever is a Taurus 5, 7, 85 is somebody that's better off being just a friend. And what I mean by just a friend is, like, you know, how you had them friends where you hang out a couple times and every now and then you might you lose contact, but you don't really break friendship. So a month or two goes by and you call them back up. That's who that person should be. But whoever's born in the dragon year, that's definitely somebody, if you're looking to pursue a relationship with or even a partnership, I would do that. The one born in a Taurus, I would see more of like a consult in a sense. And it's only because that 7 energy mixed in with that Taurus energy, also mixed in with the tiger energy. It's a lot of passionate arguments, but a lot of expansive conversations to where y'all probably would end up connected intellectually. But I just see too many arguments. Too many arguments to where y'all both get burnt out. And you'll always have the advantage. And sometimes 7 can get butthurt when they feel intellectually not as superior as a person they talk to. So I will watch out for that. Let me see here. So, and then it says another similar situation have pushed you into learning about your birth chart. Exactly. And that's the one thing. And that's why I wanted to start this video, because it's the price of learning. So even as you're learning all this information like we're supposed to, because at one point in time and multiple times in history, we were this was common knowledge. I mean, like, well, up to the 1700s, doctors had to know about somebody's astrology chart to help them. It was only up to 1700, and then they got rid of that. They said, oh, we're not doing that no more. But they believe knowing somebody's astrology chart could help them health wise, and it can. I don't have them all memorized yet, but this will be in school too. But based on what zodiac sign you have will actually highlight a part in your body. Pisces is actually in the feet. Virgo is in the hands. That's why I'm sorry, ladies, if you ever get a foot massage and you're a Pisces, trust me, it's going to feel a whole different level, because that's the sensitive part for you. That's why you also got to take care of your feet, because later on in age, that's going to be something that's probably going to end up, especially even if you're healthy, your feet will probably be the first things to go. Me being a Virgo, yeah, Aries rules the head. So yes, so definitely keep like anything that inhibits the brain outside of the special plant, which treat everything in moderation. Just be careful what's going on up here, and you'll be fine. I know Virgo's in the stomach, and my health problems mostly come from the stomach. I've had pancreatitis, almost died from. I got a sliding hiatal hernia. Like it's insane. My whole gut is messed up. You know, they even said that my esophagus, that's supposed to go like this, and then it travels down. It's more like this. So it don't make no sense. But yeah, no, overall, it's the price of waking up is the fact that you learn more about yourself. You learn a deeper meaning about yourself. You start learning your path. You start working your energy. So your life will change for the better. But there's a caveat. Not everybody around you is doing it too. So the fact they're not doing it, then you're going to start getting ostracized. But there's going to be a turnover period, because eventually, like I said, we're in the age of Aquarius. You're going to start meeting more and more people that think along the same lines that you do. And within a couple generations, everybody's gonna be back to thinking this way. That's why astrology and numerology and like so many spiritual things are making a comeback. It's because we're in the age of Aquarius, and religion's about to go out the door, because the word religion is just it's organized. It's one person controlling the masses is what it is, and they're using a bunch of stories from all over the place to do so, because the most powerful weapon in this world is the human tongue. The human tongue can start and end wars, and it can make people think what they want to think. So that's why we gotta, yeah, sorry, brain's getting all over the place now. And then it goes, let me see, it says that's insane, the doctors knew. Yeah, and me too. When he said, yeah, no, I hope it gets better too. But yeah, no, if you look it up, doctors used to have to know astrology in order to figure out things, And and here's a little secret tidbit. There's a reason why they take your footprint your footprint at the time you were born. A lot of people say it's just the records. No, this is where you start getting the palmistry. So when you take a baby's footprint, there's certain type of like astrologers um, where they know how to read. Like, and so far, there's no normal astrologist that can read in depth as these astrologists, and they can tell your whole journey from your birth. So there's very high possibility if there's an interest that they have in you, they're already tracking you, and they're seeing if you're going to actually go into that. Because life is going to try to make you go away from it, from your own purpose. But if you get interested enough, they pay you a visit. They always do. And that's deeper stuff. That's stuff I'm going to talk about later. But let me see here. So yes, actually, that's a good topic. So I don't exactly know where numerology and astrology comes from, but there's a guy named Gary Greenberg. He's who I first started learning from. Well, I've been studying numerology astrology since I was a kid, but I fell off of it because I was just getting the frou things to where everything was just all good. And I'm just like, it can't be that way. Gary's the first one that started showing me the negatives and the kind of realness about it. I just didn't like who he was associating himself with, so I went and learned somewhere else. It says exactly. Yeah, no, it is. No, I like when I have those big meetings where we all sit and talk. It's me to kind of do what I'm doing now, and I will talk with y'all about what's going on, and it's also to teach y'all and what to look out for, because I'm gonna end up having a class where I teach you to do this on your own, so that way if you want to teach your friends, or even because you can use this as a career path, you can do it yourself, or if you just want to pay attention to your life, because there's so much that I'm not talking about on here. So much stuff that I don't talk about on YouTube because I have to save it. But then there's so much stuff that I do. If you just pay attention to how I'm talking, you can figure out quite a bit. But as far as where it comes from, me, I believe the fact that there were other beings, or maybe even just some human beings that were just on a different lane of thought. You would have to be completely open to receive this information. But this information actually proves that God exists, but God is a title. God is a title. Any name that we call that entity, it's a title. And what that actually is would be the source of everything. So everybody, and then the one of the two most abundant things in this world is the energy, or not in this world, in this universe, in this existence, is the energy that created the existence, and right after that is numbers. Every single thing is made up with numbers. You can't get away from that. I mean, the fact that our temperature needs to stay around exactly. So, and our temperature needs to stay around 98.6 for us to be fine, but let that go up 2 degrees and see what happens. Everything is ruled by numbers. So if you actually want to understand the language of what God or the creator would be, you have to look at numbers. You have to reverse engineer this stuff. And the further back we go without technology, the more time we had to get in tune with ourselves, especially when it's been recorded that we've lived for 900 years, 1,000 years. Think about what we could achieve mentally and spiritually with that amount of time. We don't have that amount of time anymore. So it's like we're getting speed ramp. Exactly. Oh yeah, no, they are. Jesus died at 33 years old. There were three, I think about 3 wise men. 3 is a number of communication. Jesus and his 12 disciples. 13 is actually the number of the matrix. If you add Jesus in, that's 12, or that's 13. At the same time, his disciples spread a message. 12, 1 + 2 = 3. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. The 4 horsemen, we're in the 3rd dimension. The enemy of the 3rd dimension is the 4th dimension, which is higher. And then we're in a rat matrix, and the rat's enemy is the horse. When this class start? So right now, because I gotta get my schedule together, I only have Tuesdays and Fridays off. But since y'all doing the since I'm definitely seeing interest, what I can do is next Friday. I could do a class and have this going on. So like I said, when you join it, I'll actually post it, and then I'll verify what time. Cause I know some of y'all may not be in the same country, some of y'all might not be in the same time zone. So I'll make sure to post up the time zone, and then y'all will vote on which time zone we will start on. So Roberto define whatever career path. Okay. Well, I can tell you right now, just based on your birthday. Let me go back to it because my memory sucks sometimes. I'm almost there. Where's that? There it is. So you got to, let's say, Cat 7. Like I said, you're also 8. So anything dealing with money would be a good thing for you. So like, and especially an accountant, something that has it to where you're more by yourself, but you can use your brain. If you can use your intellect and your way of thinking, and it may deal with money or like even HR. So like an accountant type position, HR type position, anything. Yes. So anything dealing with those type of jobs, even doing books for somebody would be a very good position for you. And it doesn't mean like in those positions, I know a lot of people like sleep on them nowadays, but especially if you're really good at keeping like accountants or books, you get paid bank. You get paid bank. So and then that's just your birthday. Now, like I said, there's other ones, like I would need your full name to figure that out. And then there's your natal chart. And then we can really pinpoint in on which one it is. And I will say, I don't have anything set up yet. You hear me talk about the video. I do give full numerology reports, which I just charge $28. Everybody else that's doing it, they're going to charge you anywhere from $100 up to $500 for the same exact information I'm going to give you. And it's 9 pages long. It goes over how I got the information, where I got it from, how y'all can figure out yourselves, and what each aspect of your energetic blueprint says about you and how it mixes together. Because these numbers, they play, depending on like the 1 and the 9 by themselves don't get along. Oh, to get that report, I'm trying to figure that out now. I think what I may do, I'm trying to think, because I got a Venmo, but what I'll probably end up doing, and because I know like on school they kind of frown upon it, is when y'all do join, DM me directly, and then I'll send you the information there. And then normally it'll just be a Venmo thing, and then after that, and I will let you know. I don't keep the records. When I get done with your report, I send it to you and I delete everything because I do not want your personal information existing on my computer. That is not what I'm there for, because last thing I need is somebody to go in there and be like, oh, look at this, and take it. So I do all the information. I save it. I email it to you, make sure you got it, and then it gets deleted. Eventually I'm going to draft off a piece of paper that we'll both sign just to make sure you know that you're protected. Oh yeah, no, definitely. Oh, I could throw the kid in there for free, and the kid will be free. I just want the information out there, and I know making a little bit of money off this will be nice too. But yeah, no, I can. Yeah, it says I don't have a PayPal. Actually, no, I think I might. Yeah, and it's only I gotta get off this live. But yeah, no, yeah, that's it. Go to my school and look out for this video. If you subscribe to the YouTube page, you'll see it. And if you go to the description, I'll put in there what I talked about in the live today, and then you'll see a link, and it'll say school. You should be able to click on it, and it'll take you there. If not, just copy it and then put it in your URL. And then what I'll do is I'll have the link that has you sign up, and then I'll have the other link that just takes you to the page. So, but yeah. Other than that, I'll say thank y'all very much for joining me. I'm almost at an hour, and I left my wife with the little one who's probably terrorizing right now. So, Dad got to go tag out. But other than that, hey, peanut butter jelly time. Thank y'all very much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing y'all in school.